Well, hello everyone, welcome back. This is Mohammad Badruddin and today we are going to solve another blind SQL injection lab by triggering time delay in the response, right? So before going to solve this lab, this disclaimer as always, this video and its contents are only for educational purpose and I do not support any unethical or illegal act. That's been said, we already see how we can delay the response time in the previous lab by inserting time delay parameters or time delay query syntax in the existing query, right? So now in this lab we have to actually retrieve the information by triggering time delay in the responses by exploiting blind SQL injection vulnerability. So the lab is like blind SQL injection with time delays and information retrieval. So this lab contains a blind SQL injection vulnerability. The application uses a tracking cookie for analytics and perform an SQL query containing the value of the submitted cookie. That's perfect. So the result of the SQL query are not returned and the application does not any differently as we mentioned in the previous labs. Whether the query returns any row or cause an error, so there is no any difference in the response. So you cannot see any different behavior. Since the query is executed synchronously, it is possible to trigger conditional delays to infer information. So the database actually contains a users table. Inside users table, there are two columns. One is username, another one is password. So we need to find out the password for the administrator, right? For the time delay, we found this pg_sleep. This works because the backend database was PostgreSQL, right? So now there are same steps as earlier lab. First of all, we need to find out whether the application is vulnerable or not. So tracking ID is vulnerable to a blind SQL or not. Fine, which we already know that it is vulnerable and we tested this one. So the second point is we need to determine if users table exists in database. Third one is going to be determine the length of the password for administrator user, and fourth one is retrieve the password for administrator, right? So these are the steps we need to follow. Sorry, here it should be E. Fine. So the first step we already follow, but we will test that too in this lab. So let's go to the lab. I'm going to enable the burp proxy on my browser and just hit on the home button, come here, and we got this request. Send this request to the repeater, go to the repeater, and this is the request. So once I send this request, you can see right hand bottom corner, you will find the response time. So I send the request and you can see only 157 milliseconds. So if I go to the inspect, go to the network tab and just refresh the page. So once you refresh the page, you can see there is in millisecond. Go up, come on, go up, and this is the page slash, and the response time is 842 milliseconds. Fine. So this will show you all the resources loaded with this page and the timing of that, right? So the response we got in 842 milliseconds. So each time the response time may vary. As you can see now 526. Once I send this request again, 154. But uh, if we can control this time, that means this tracking ID cookie is vulnerable to blind SQL by triggering the time delay in the response. So I just want to make sure that this is vulnerable. So pg underscore sleep, and the time delay I'm going to make is 10 seconds. Send this request again. You can also make it URL in code, control U, and send that request. And this time, what was that? Oh, come on. I intercepted the wrong request here. This should be the request. So send this request to the repeater. Come here, and yeah, there is the tracking ID. So send the request, and it takes 165 millisecond. Now come here and just pg underscore sleep 10 seconds, sorry, and send the request again. Now you will see the response time is delayed to 10 seconds. And you will not get actually exactly 10 seconds, but 10 seconds we make delay, and this is the actual time for the response, but 10 seconds we make delay. So 10,167 is the total response time now. So we can control the time delay. As you can see, we put the 5 seconds, and here you will find more than 5 seconds. Yeah, so 5 seconds is the delay, and 232 is the response time. So response time plus delay is equal to this. Fine. So now we know that the application, this tracking ID, is vulnerable to blind SQL injection. Now what we need to do is we need to put the select statement. So select pg time delay from users. So if the users table exists, first of all, database will see this piece of syntax from users. So if the user table exists, then it will go to the select statement. Fine. So let's try this. But didn't make any difference. Why? Because we need to put here some conditions. So we will say case when 1 is equal to 1, then put the delay, else pg underscore sleep, else no delay, and end that condition from users. So send this request again. So if users table exist, it will go to the select statement, and we need to enclose it with this. Send again, and this time hopefully it worked, because we missed this enclosing the syntax in the small brackets. And yes, as you can see, this is 10 seconds delay, right? So if I did not use this, just enclose in the bracket and execute this syntax or this query, it should work. So because users table exists, so it will go for the select statement, and it will add the delay for 5 seconds. Still 10 seconds delay. Why? It is giving 10 seconds delay because maybe this query returning more number of rows. Fine. So we need to limit to 1. So now we will find only 5 seconds delay. Yeah, 5 seconds delay. That's perfect. Now we need to add the condition, same like before. Okay, if the users table is there, it will make 5 seconds delay, and here also limit must be equal to 1. It should give us 5 seconds delay, not 10 seconds. And that seems it's going to give us 10 seconds. Yeah, because we need to limit it to 1. Now it will give us 5 seconds delay only. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's mean the users table exists in the database. So I'm going to take that and come here, paste that and save it. Now we need to find out the length of the password. So now everything is easy. So instead of limit, I'm going to say no. First of all, I need to find out whether the administrator user exists or not. So this is gonna be the point number 3. Determine if administrator user exists or not. Fine. So this is the 3rd point, and this is the 4th point, and this is gonna be the 5th point. So not end, from users where username is equal to administrator. So if users table exists and username administrator exists in the users table, it is going to see this condition where 1 is equal to 1 means the condition is true. So it will go to add 5 seconds delay, otherwise there is no delay. Send this. And yeah, we got 5 seconds delay. That means administrator user exists. But to make sure, if I say a, so this user does not exist and we did not get any time delay. Fine. So that means our query is perfect. So copy that, come here and paste that, save it. Now we need to find out the length of the password. So just here I need to add, and we will say length of the password, let's see, greater than 1. So if it is greater than 1 and username administrator in the users table, we will get 5 seconds delay. And as you can see, we get the 5 seconds delay. That means length of the password is greater than 1. So let's see if it is greater than 10. Yeah, greater than 10. Now let's try if it is greater than 19. Yes, it is greater than 19. Now let's try greater than 20. No, it's not greater than 20. It's greater than 19 but not greater than 20. That means it's equal to 20. Yeah, it's equal to 20. So we now also get the length of the password, which is equal to 20. So I'm going to copy this, come back here. So that's it. Now we just need to retrieve the password for the administrator. So for this, there is nothing much difficult. We just need to add here substring, because the database is PostgreSQL. So we need substring, comma 1 means the first character we need. So the first character is greater than A. If the first character is greater than A, username administrator in the users table exists. Then it will go to see the select statement, and 1 is equal to 1, that is true. So it is going to add 5 seconds delay. So I need actually quick response. So I'm going to choose 3 seconds delay, send it. And as you can see, there is 3 seconds delay in the right hand bottom side corner, 3169. That means it is greater than A. Now let's try greater than M. Yeah, it's greater than m. Let's try greater than n, send, and it's not greater than n. It's greater than m but not greater than n. That means it is equal to n. Send it. And yeah, we got the response. That means the first character of the password is n. Well, we got the first character of the password. Now I need to send this request to the intruder. Go to the intruder, go to the position, clear all the positions, and now we need to find out the second character of the password. And here let's put it, let's say a, and add this as the first position. Now we need to sniper attack. This time is okay because we are using just one position. Go to the payload. The payload I want is brute forcer, which is from A to Z and from 0 to 9. Minimum length I want 1 and the maximum length I want 1 because I want to match one character at a time. And just send the request. So start attack. Okay. And we also need here, because there is length and status code only, so go to the columns and go to the response completed tab. So it will show you the response time also. Fine. So we just need to wait for the response time 3 seconds because we use 3-second delay. So in the intruder we need to find out 3 seconds delay. And as you can see, we find out 3 seconds delay in the response time, and the character is W. It means the second character of the password is W. Similarly, we can find third, fourth, fifth, but this is going to take a lot of work and it will take too much time. So the second way of doing this is we can send this request to the intruder. Go to the intruder, go to the position, clear all positions, and here we can add this as a first position and this one as the second position. Fine. Now in that case we need cluster bomb attack. So go to the payloads. The first payload is going to be numbers because we will change the place value of the password characters. So we will take it from 1 to 20 because the password length is 20, and each time it should increase one step. That means first place value of the password, second place value of the password, like this. Fine. Now we need to choose the second payload, and the second payload is going to be the brute forcer, and at a time I need to just match one character. So minimum length is 1, maximum length is 1, and start the attack. Okay, and again we need to from here choose the response complete tab. Fine. So as you can see, now you have response complete tab. This one we have to ignore because there is no payload, right? So we will wait for others. So it is going to generate or send 720 requests, which is very slow in term of community edition of Burp Suite. So what I did, I write my own Python script and I just execute that Python script and I got the password. So I'm going to copy this password, go to the lab again, go to my accounts, and here administrator administrator, and paste the password and log in. So to complete the lab, I am not going to wait for the burp intruder to give me all the characters of the password, right? If you have professional edition, then it's very fine. It will be very fast. But in terms of community edition, it's very slow. So in the next lab, I will show you the script, and we will write that script in the next lab for the same lab. If you have any query, you can put in the comment section and I will try to resolve it as soon as possible. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye.